Hello class, my name is Camille Newtall and today I'll be speaking to you guys a little bit about the affordable housing policy issue. The research from my paper over the affordable housing policy issue finds that more equitable affordable housing is indeed possible through preservation, protection, inclusion, revenue generation, and property acquisition. This paper will look at the issue by providing background on the extent of the affordable housing policy issue. I will analyze the best practices to address it, and I will outline key policy messages. I will finish this presentation with my concluding thoughts on the future of affordable housing policies. Affordable housing is generally housing for which an occupant pays no more than 30% of his or her income for gross housing expenses such as rent and utilities. The population of those eligible to live in affordable housing units is very diverse. No specific market and no specific demographic comes close to encompassing all of the people who live in those units. Income is a primary factor, not pricing and non-availability, that determines housing affordability. Even before the Great Recession, the percentages of Americans paying more than 30% of their gross income for housing was increasing. Approximately 75% of renters in the 10 high-cost areas earn between $30,000 and $45,000. Almost half of those earning between $45,000 and $75,000 had very high housing costs. In 2015, only 25% of eligible households received housing assistance. This left the other 75% of the eligible population paying a very disproportionate share of income on housing. Rising housing costs undermine equitable access to neighborhoods, offering health and a quality of life. And they offer benefits such as safety, walkability, open space, and healthy food. These things are often enhanced by the growing demand for housing and associated development. As we all know, where you live and your location very much so affects your upward mobility, which affects your education, jobs in the future. It could affect your future generations. Stable, affordable housing is essential to the health of individuals, families, and communities. In high-cost cities, housing affordability challenges have left low-income families with minimal discretionary income after their rents are paid. This means that after they pay their rent, they have little to no money left for things such as food, doctor visits. Affordable housing challenges have pushed responders out of the communities in which they serve. They have forced teachers to face hour-long commutes or leave entirely, and they have led people to experience homelessness or displacement. Affordable housing has proved itself to be a very burgeoning issue, and within the United States, the region's housing costs have escalated so dramatically over the past decade that the low and median income residents struggle to afford and find housing. I'm going to give you guys some practices that have addressed the problem. These are practices that I found have best addressed the problem. So in Boulder, Colorado, in the year 2000, their inclusionary housing program required developers to make at least 20% of the total units built permanently affordable for low-income households. The program includes all developments, regardless of size, and requires developers to either create affordable units on or off the offsite. They have dedicated land for affordable housing. They have paid a fee to the Affordable Housing Trust Fund of $18,000 per unit, with the exception of being single lot developments with one owner and a total floor area less than 1,600 square feet. Developers who provide more than 20% of affordable units within their projects get their land use review and build permit fees. In Austin, they contain one of the first public housing complexes in the nation that is still in use. The city's housing authority has been consistently recognized as a top performer by HUD. This recognition is primarily due to the organization's willingness to embark on a number of entrepreneurial pursuits that help fund the city's affordable housing initiatives. I'm going to give you guys one little example. A subsidiary of the authority owns commercial property that is rented out at market rates to generate rental income for business and operations. The housing authority also works diligently to maintain its affordable housing properties and provide residents with amenities such as tennis courts and pools. I'm going to leave you guys with my key takeaway points. So, more affordable housing requires 6 things. Preservation. This means that you are preserving existing affordable rental units. Protections. This means helping long-time residents who wish to stay in the neighborhood. Inclusion. This means that you are ensuring that a share of new development is affordable. Revenue generation. This means you are harnessing growth to expand financial resources for affordable housing. Incentives. This means that you are creating incentives for the development of affordable housing. And property acquisition. This means that you are facilitating the acquisition of land for affordable housing. In order for everyone to have equitable access to benefits brought by neighborhood improvements, communities should adopt policies that preserve and expand affordable housing across all neighborhoods, and they should reserve a share of new development for affordable housing. Given the many political complexities of housing policy, a broad coalition of practitioners and advocates is necessary to ensure that low and moderate income households can afford to live in neighborhoods seeing an influx of higher income households or where new investment is taking place. I'm sure that you guys are all very familiar with the term gentrification. With the right policies in place, many urban neighborhoods can accommodate an influx of higher income households while still providing affordable living opportunities for low and moderate income households.